Here we go. Let's say hello. I'm black, so let's put a stone down. And then let's turn on the coordinates. Look at the game info. Okay, it's an even game, 2 11 Qs. So let's approach on this side. It's the longest side, I guess. And we'll see if we get some weird Joseki here. Yeah. Just connecting. Let's push in anyway. That's normally the response here. Yeah, so if he goes there, I thought this would be fine. He's giving me fourth line territory here. I'll push once more and then jump. Aha, so he hanes there. Let's turn then. Then let's play the split. Split the side up so he doesn't claim some huge amount of territory here. Make a base. I'll approach the corner later. He hits me immediately. Yeah, you know, maybe the spacing would have been a little better here with the approach. I can do an approach now. And then if he pushes, I can block. But he just wants to be on top, huh? So if I attach to the corner, okay, I'll get fourth line territory along here too, it looks like. Looks like we will. Yeah, let's go ahead and make that solid. And we'll take away this extension too. Okay, we'll get a little more of the corner since he closed me off on that side. And take a base here. It's making a base and an enclosure at the same time. Okay, I'll keep moving out here. Then we will enclose this corner, see what he wants to do with this stone. Yeah, and block on this side, so keep these stones separated. And make sure we have enough room to live here. How about if we just come out with a diagonal here? Yep, so they're separated, and there's only one eye here, right? So we can poke in here. Okay. Yeah, I will extend out once more just to avoid the honey. Then let's take some space on this side too. So, do I want to worry about this? He's enclosed me, but if I'm alive here, I do need to make sure I'm alive here, so let's block the clamp. Yeah, so that makes an eye here and an eye over here, here. So I am alive. And then we can take an extension on this side. And block the corner. Poke and drop down, kick, poke. and drop down to keep the corner safe. He's got me undercut on this side, so I do want to make sure I maintain some control of this space. So his biggest source of territory is this area out in the middle here, so we'll do the famous Tengen. The Tengen doesn't feel like quite the right spot. He's got a wall here. If he builds 2 lines of territory and makes a line of stones here, that would be fine. How about if we just start jumping out? Modestly jump out. See what his reaction is. Let's connect up underneath. So I go here. He's going to Atari my stone. I will cut on the other side if I can. Depends on how he Ataris. Oh, but if he Ataris that way, I just connect. And if he Ataris it down, then I cut. Or maybe I honey on top. Should be able to stay connected one way or another. So honey on top, he extends. Can I catch this guy on a ladder? I connect. I honey on top, he extends, I connect. He's got 2 liberties, and I'm threatening to catch him in a ladder, which would go to my stone, right? Boom, 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 boom. So helps these guys stay connected. So my goal here is to keep eating up his territory, destroying his potential in this area. If he wants to creep along the second line, I think that's fine. If he even wants to turn there, no, let's extend once, make these connections solid. Okay, jump out again. Keep on jumping. Now, I'll just extend once. He wants to try and connect this stone back here. I'm not sure what that does. Atari, extend, connect. If he tries to cut here, I take 2 stones. If he extends, I connect here, and then these 2 are dead. Yeah, if he does that, I'll just connect here. He's got to justify these 2 stones out here somehow. I will take away their ability to connect or make eyes. Yeah. I could. You know, as long as this is connected, it doesn't matter too much, and he's not getting any territory here. I don't have to build all of this myself. So I could let these stones connect up this way. If I get a nice wall here and take this territory. Yeah, so he tries to squeeze the maximum amount here, but he's playing with fire. Oh, I don't think that's correct at all. Again, the ladders go to me, right? So I just extend here. If he goes up, I extend. If he catches me this way, yeah, that ladder still works for me. So he's just fishing over here. If he makes me extend up, then these stones will be in trouble. Yeah, so we'll take these stones as tribute. I don't think that should work. Let's see. Poke here, he connects, and I hane. I'm down to 2 liberties, it's true. Did he outread me here? So if I hane, and he cuts, I have to extend. He connects, and I've got 2 liberties. I can Atari this stone. He connects, I descend. Yeah, I think this might still work for me. Let's see. If I connect here, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 liberties all of a sudden. And I'm ready to connect to this stone. Yeah, so he cut. So I have 2 liberties. If he connects, which is what I was expecting. If he lets me take, that's just like I'm connecting there. Yeah, so then I Atari this stone. I still have 2 liberties. He connects, I extend, he's got 1 liberty. If he doesn't connect, I take, and I have an extra liberty here. And these stones are in Atari. So he broke into my territory over here in exchange for giving me those stones in the center. Let's split that guy off, though. Cut. I cut. He Ataris. I connect. If he just connects, then it's 1, 2, 3, 4 liberties versus 1, 2, 3, 4. And it's my turn. You might do something like a hane. All right, let's try the cut. One, two, three, 4. Those are my 4 liberties. Yeah, and he's got 1, 2, 3, 4. So what's the best way to keep him from building more liberties? I go here. He descends. I connect. And I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Or do I go here? I need to do something that takes away a liberty. So if I go here, he might hane my stones. I guess it's better to give these guys more liberties. So now it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 versus 1, 2, 3, 4. But he can jump out. Right. So block on this side. He may wedge. I can hane. We'll see how this works. I will defend the corner and sacrifice these stones if necessary. Ah, he's trying to get an eye versus no eye situation. Ah. I don't think that did anything. So, but he's down to 2 liberties, and I still have a bunch. So 1, 2 to take that. 1, 2, 3, 4. So these stones are dead. He's just playing inside my territory with them. I'll just keep him from connecting here. So let's go ahead and take these guys. He's not going to have enough room to live inside here. So Ayatari, he takes. Ayatari, he fills in, I take. Or he doesn't fill in, and I take. I don't understand this guy. Well, what I mean is, I had all this trouble at 11Q, just the previous time I was here, I just got rejected pretty harshly when I was at 11Q. And now, I face these guys. And even this time, I've had some games that were pretty tough. But now this guy is just playing horribly and wasting moves. Okay, if he cuts here, an Ayatari, he extends, Ayatari, he connects, he's dead. So let's just take these stones. Okay, put the whole thing in Atari again. I mean, and then I face guys like this that are playing like they don't even know how the game goes. It's weird. Okay, so no need to play there anymore. Is there a need to play here? Just make sure there's no I space there. Okay, so I decided to finish off this side. That's fine. I'll go ahead and make a living group there. I don't know what move destroys the most territory in this area. I could probably place the stone all the way out here. I have such a so many stones here already. Okay, just stay connected and have 2 eyes, and he can't kill me. Aha, he may have found a way. Yeah, I was counting on that eye, right? Okay, so now we find out how he actually wins. So let's see if he can stop me from connecting here. Looks like he didn't. Did not succeed in stopping me from connecting, so those stones are dead inside. Let's eat up what territory we can here. Probably the honey over here is a bigger end game. Well, just so he doesn't curl around and gain some territory there. Okay. It's not yet an Atari. I could play here, but it doesn't really do much. I think the end game here is bigger. And there's also end game here. Okay, he's going to make me take. Maybe we'll play until there's nowhere left he can legally place a stone. Okay, I'll just connect up here. Yeah, honey here is probably something. I can connect up there. And here, finish these borders here. So play here, and he has to fill in here. I do want to stay connected, yes. And I don't have to respond to that. Is there any other move that makes territory? Well, this will gain a point here, I guess. Yeah, let's just connect there. I don't think that was actually a point, but did not hurt. So where did his territory end up being? He just ended up with one corner, basically. This is almost nothing here. And this is almost nothing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 points here. And it's connected to the corner. And then he's got 1, 2, 3, 4 points here. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so 7 and 9, 16. Yeah, I'm going to pass here. Well, my opponent did let the time run down almost to nothing, and then passed, and I passed, and we scored the game. I'm not sure what the point of that was, except to annoy me. Maybe he was a bit annoyed at having lost by such a large margin. But actually, it was an interesting game, and back and forth up to the midpoint where there was this collapse in the center. But let's look at these. There were some interesting points I wanted to look at. Let's take a look at the first Joseki here in the corner. So the normal Joseki here, I approach, he attaches, I hane. The normal Joseki is to extend, after which I could attach underneath or extend myself. I usually just extend here. Katago is suggesting this, so maybe this is a new Joseki. move at this point. That looked interesting. After the simple connection here that white played, wake up, white played a simple connection here. This is suddenly good for me, and I could just make a tiger's mouth here and have an advantage. So that's not really a Joseki move. That's giving away a little bit of an advantage there. But I didn't know that, and I pushed in. Keeps this about even. And now there's an interesting point here where Katago thinks that white should block here, but white instead played the hane on top, and then it thinks that I should push in here, and instead I played the extension here. So this point D17 was more valuable than either of us gave it credit for. I mean, and when I look at this, I see I'm getting fourth line territory here, and this is only on the third line. But I'm forgetting about the fact that I might be able to take that whole corner when I push in at D17. So that's a more valuable move there. Anyway, we played like this. Game continued, and he did eventually seal off the corner. Then he haned on top. And what here I should hane back. I immediately at this point jumped in to erase this influence because I was worried about it getting too big. So Katago does this really interesting thing here. It plays a game of chicken. It does the hane, and white extends because it doesn't want that stone to be ataried and doesn't want to be driven down. And black extends again, and white doesn't want the hane at the head of two stones. And then black extends again, and white extends because white doesn't want the hane at the head of three stones, apparently. And then Katago plays here. So it thinks playing here is the right idea. And even a couple moves earlier, it's already starting to look at the move here. It's just kind of doing this balancing act. Should I extend? Should I play here? And it slightly prefers extending up until there's three stones there and white has four stones, and then it plays here. So I just thought that was interesting. So I played this move right away, and Katago would ignore that and extend here. It thinks this square K14 is, or yeah, this spot K14 is very valuable. It wants me to play there and wants white to play there. Let's see, and I would jump out after white plays there and try and keep this side, I guess. So both of us are ignoring that, and that's the evaluation kind of jumps up and down as we ignore that. That continues to be the largest move on the board for quite a few moves, probably until it gets played. So right here, though, the game was even up to this point, basically. And then this move here was a little bit too slow. Once again, white should extend towards the corner. The corner, and also making more potential on the side, I think, as well. So that's just a more valuable move, a bigger move than this move here. I mean, this move is with Sente, but my response is a good move for me. So just because it's a Sente move doesn't mean it's necessarily valuable. And so Katago starts to like black at this point. And here I could get an even bigger advantage by playing here instead of the simple connection like I played. But this is still keeping an edge for black. And then I played away. And this is an okay point to play away. It's just at this point, Katago has a different idea of where the biggest moves are. Once again, K14 is its top choice. It's also identified D3 here as a very good move to play. So this was not one of the Katago's top choices, although it still keeps an advantage to be. So let's go forward for a while. We have this little fight developing on the top side, and I thought it was interesting here how I'm trying to I'm trying to live with this group, but at the same time I want to threaten this group, and so I was trying to take its eye away. Katago wouldn't mess around that way. It would just extend. Or the other move it's suggesting is this hane. Now that K14 has been filled in, this move here at C11, or for white at C10, this is now the biggest move on the board that both of us are ignoring, and you'll see the graph jumping around as both of us fail to play that move. But aside from that, looking at local moves, the best local move here for me was just to extend up. Instead, I pushed in here, threatening to take that eye away. But, well, white is already out, so it's not much of a threat. And white could play, the strongest way for white to play is the hane on top, after which I would play here. I still have an edge, but it's been reduced. White has improved his position by those moves. But instead, white pushed in here, I connected, and white extended up. So I am keeping an advantage through these moves here. I get to play on the side. He turns. And then right here, I play a slow move. So boom, and my advantage disappears. One slow move. That's all it takes. So as I said in the game, I was just trying to make a second eye here. So I'd have an eye here and an eye here. But as we saw later, the white could actually get rid of that eye, although it takes a few moves. So I kind of fell for a little thing there. We can look at that later. But if he gets a stone at J18 and then throws in at K17, and I take, then that's no longer an eye there. So white can falsify that eye in two moves. So I have to be careful and not let that happen. But instead of playing a slow move like that, yeah, Katago is once again saying I should play the big move over there. So let's go on. Let's continue on to the fight in the middle. The evaluation is jumping up and down as both of us are ignoring the big move. That's why you see this ragged look to the graph. What was this move here? Oh yeah, I just wanted to show how white should have played here as well. White C10 to give you an idea of how valuable the move is. Katago gives this sequence. So white reduces me on this side by, this area could be mine and now it's his. So that's 6 points. It's gone from me to him. And so that's a 12-point swing. So that's pretty big. Hard for me to believe it's the biggest move on the board, but because I think of this as an endgame move. But that's what Katago is saying at this point. So anyway, let's get to the fight in the middle where really it's make or break. I am starting, it's still just going back and forth around even. And then right here, here's the first situation with ladders. So this move that white played actually loses the local fight and loses the game. You can see the evaluation drop down to the bottom there. He could hane here, but he probably thought this ladder didn't work because my turn immediately threatens to capture this stone. But what Katago is saying is that white can extend here, and I should respond on this side, and then white can turn here, and now the ladder is going again. And now this is the ladder I read out loud during the game, and I read it wrong because I thought when we got to this point, I was close enough to this stone that I could establish a connection, because when I turn here, it's going to be an Atari on that stone. But he doesn't cause me to turn there. He plays on this side. And then these stones are just dead. That's it. So that was the ladder I misread. And he probably misread this very short ladder. But the question is, well, is this really forcing here? I mean, why did I extend down on this side when I could have extended at this side, tried to save these stones? Well, this part is really interesting. So this required some deeper reading. But as we go forward, I have to keep extending, connecting up with this stone. He can keep extending. I'll try and capture these stones. He can make some more, he can threaten to make some space. He descends, I follow. Then he plays here. And if I keep it all separated, he plays here. And now these white stones are all connected, actually. And my stones are cut off. So I lose this group. So that is why, going back to this point, that is why this turn does not end the ladder, because white can extend there. And the threat is to actually connect these stones to these stones and kill this group, even without a ladder, just by surrounding it. Just by surrounding them. So, interesting sequence. So we both misread that ladder. And so he extended up here, and now this loses the fight, although I make a mistake in a bit. So far, this is good. And right here, I don't know, this is a little puzzle for you. Oh, actually, it's not much of a puzzle because the correct move is showing on the board. The correct move is here. Do the throw-in. If it had been presented to me in a tsume, I would have gotten this. Because after he takes, then you hane the 5 stones here. He's got to fill in, and then you catch these guys in a ladder. So that's the ladder that works for me. And so that's just winning. This hane doesn't quite work. It went along as I expected. Let's see, he cut here. That's what Karigo was expecting. I extend, and then he connected. That was his mistake, and this is actually the final big mistake of the game, where it suddenly drops down and he has no chance of winning. He could Atari on the other side, and I take, and then he Atari's here, I connect, and then he's got me in a ladder once again, and the ladder goes to here, and then just where I'm about ready to connect, he can cut here, and there's just no way out. Just continued, and so that ladder, I guess we both, I didn't even see that ladder, but I was just sort of hoping this was working out for me at that point. And anyway, it did work out for me, but just because he played the wrong move there. So for completeness sake, after he plays that Atari and I take, and he plays this Atari, Karigo says I should just give up these 4 stones. Yeah, you got to cut your losses. You read out the ladder. Every stone you play is just wasted, and take the big move. And then at this point, white is actually winning, but it's not by a huge amount, so it's not out of hand. It's 4 or 5 points, maybe 6 or 7 points. I forget the exact number, but it wasn't too bad. But anyway, he connected, and then I'm just winning. And let's just go forward. It's not much going on until we get to this point where he throws in the middle of my group here that I thought had 2 eyes. And I connected here, and that's wrong. The correct move, if we back up, the correct move is to play here. And then if he plays in the game where he tries to get rid of my eye, I can make an eye like this. And then if he Atari's here, I can take these stones. So I have an eye here and an eye here, and I'm still alive. So that was the way to save that. That was what I misplayed. So the connection here was incorrect. Let's see. Oh, Karigo. Yeah, Karigo was giving a different line. It was saying after placing that stone, if I reply here at G18, he should hane at K19, and I get 2 eyes this way. He connects, I connect, and now the throw-in just gives me an eye. So I have 2 eyes in this case. So 2 different ways of getting 2 eyes there. But the way I played it, you can get 2 eyes in various ways, but not the way I played it. Now I just have 1 eye. And in this section here, actually, he could have done a better job of cutting me off, but I just connected up. So that was that little blip here. But even if he had managed to cut me off, it's never, he was never ahead. I was always keeping a pretty big winning advantage. And yeah, that was the way all the way to the end. Actually, at the end, I forgot to play here. So when it was scored, all these points got counted as dame, but I still won by about 60 points. Anyway, interesting game. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time. Bye now.